Guys, welcome to our channel. If you didn't already know, my name is Nita and this is my son Mateo, and this is our first video. I'm going to be telling you guys how I hid my entire pregnancy, how no one knew, and just everything about that. So let's get right into the video. I got pregnant when I was 15 and it was July of 2018, and I gave birth when I was 16, March of 2019. Well, I'm going to start on how the pregnancy was because a lot of people have been asking. So my pregnancy, it wasn't easy. I had a lot of morning sickness. I definitely remember that. I threw up a good couple of times. In my first trimester, I couldn't really eat anything. I had just a terrible appetite. I couldn't hold anything down. Everything, like even water, I would just throw it up. So it was really bad. And then I get to my second trimester and it was a lot easier. And overall, it was a good pregnancy. It went by really fast and I hid it pretty well because I'm really skinny. It was hard, but I got through it. So the reason I hid my pregnancy, which is probably a lot of people are asking, is because I was really naive at the time too, and I didn't even think I was pregnant. I was in denial. I didn't want to accept the fact that I was pregnant, even though I knew I was. And I found out I was pregnant because I didn't get my period, and I started like getting really bad morning sickness. I started to show like a really small bump like pretty early, probably like when I was only like 8-9 weeks, and I definitely remember it. And I'm gonna insert some pictures from my belly. A lot of people were asking how my labor went, and I'm going to talk about it all right now. I gave birth March 25th. It was a Monday. He was born at 10:55 in the morning, and I'm just going to walk you through pretty much how I told, because my family didn't find out until I gave birth, or I was giving birth. So pretty much, I started having contractions probably like 4 in the morning that Monday, and mind you, I was still going to school. I didn't miss any school. Throughout my entire pregnancy, I didn't miss a day because no one knew. And I'm like a good student. I don't really miss school. I don't like to. So I went the whole time. Even when I had morning sickness, I didn't miss a day. And it was really hard, but I pushed through. So I have contractions at 4 in the morning. I wake up and it wasn't like anything random because towards the end of my pregnancy, I had to go pee every 5 minutes. Like, I kid you not. I had to go pee so much. So I would wake up like in the middle of the night and I would go to the bathroom. So it's 4 in the morning, I wake up, I go to the bathroom, and I come back and I'm like having really bad pains. And I kind of knew when my due date was because I had like done that pregnancy calculator. I was supposed to give birth like the 27th of March or the 26th, something like that. And it was the 25th. So I was like, maybe I'm giving birth, maybe I'm not. So I tried to go back to bed because I was like, I have to wake up at 6 in the morning. It was 4, and I was like, I don't really want to stay awake. So I tried going back to bed, and then they're still really bad. And then I'm in bed, and I just feel like a gush of water, and I was very confused. So mind you, I'm only 16. I don't really know anything. I don't know what water breaking feels like. I don't know anything. So I look up on my phone, and I'm like, how do you know when your water broke? And in it said that there's possibility that you can have Braxton Hicks contractions, and I was like, maybe it was those. But my water broke, and I didn't even think that my water had broke. I just thought like a big gush of water was coming out. My brain was not working at the time. I wasn't putting 2 and 2 together. So pretty much, I just get back into bed. I try and fall asleep. And the contractions, they were about 10 minutes apart. They weren't as bad. So I try going back to sleep. I still try and put it off because at this point, I still do not think I'm giving birth. Like, it just did not hit me that, hey, you still have a child in you. You are going to end up giving birth. And it didn't hit me. The whole time I was pacing in my room trying to debate, like, should I tell my sister? Because my mom wasn't home. I don't tell her until about 7. And they got really bad. So it's about 7. And my sister, she was about to leave for school. And I go downstairs. I'm still in my pajamas. And at that point, I would have already been ready. Me and my little sister, we would have been gone for school. So I tell my sister, I walk up to her, I'm like crying. She's like, what's wrong? And I was like, oh, you're just gonna be so mad. Like, I was really, really scared. She was like, just tell me. And I was like, I've been having contractions since 4. And she was like, what? Because she didn't know I was pregnant. No one knew I was pregnant. And I guess she didn't think that I was pregnant. But when I said that I was having contractions, I kind of thought she would put 2 and 2 together and say, oh, okay, she's pregnant. But she didn't say that. So we like immediately went to the hospital. And we get there about like 7:20, and then they take us into the room, and I'm wearing like a big sweater, so people still don't think I'm pregnant because you just couldn't see me. Like, I was not that big to the point where if I were wearing a big sweater, you wouldn't be able to see a belly. But I changed to a gown, you know. I get an epidural because at that point I was in so much pain. Like, I was crying, I was like tossing and turning. I just could not stay in one place. I was in really bad pain because the contractions were so bad. They were about every 2 minutes now. And when I got to the hospital, I was about 4 centimeters dilated already. So I was already almost halfway there. And by the time I get the epidural, I'm pretty sure I was like 6 centimeters. But I still get the epidural. And it didn't help at all because probably not even an hour after I got the epidural, I gave birth. So the epidural did not help at all. So my labor was 7 hours and active labor was probably only like 10 minutes. I was 5 pounds, 4 ounces. So giving birth, it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. It probably took like 10 minutes and he was out. And now to get to the point where my family, so my brother, he didn't know, he's 19 and he is really protective of me. So my sister had told my brother that morning, like, oh, you have to take the little sister to school. Nita said she's having contractions. My brother, he had just woken up. He was really confused. And my mom didn't find out probably until like 20 minutes before I gave birth, if that. They were all at the hospital, and my brother, it was really hard for him to accept it. He was in denial too, and he just didn't want to accept the fact that I did have a son, and it was really hard for him. But the nurse told my mom because I was too scared to. So when my mom found out, she was so happy, so supportive. And the main reason why I hid my pregnancy is because I was just scared that I would like lose the bond with my family, because I'm really close to my family. And I just didn't want to lose the bond with my family. I was like, oh, like, I was just so scared. And, you know, I'm young. So I was like, what if I get kicked out? Like, what's going to happen? What if they can't support us? Just so many things were going through my mind throughout the entire pregnancy that I didn't really want to tell them. I wish that I would have told them earlier. I wish I would have told them when I first found out. This pregnancy could have gone so different. But overall, it was a really good experience. And I'm blessed. And I'm young, but there's nothing I can do about it, you know. He is my whole heart, and he makes me really happy. People have been asking questions about Mateo's father. Is he in the life? You know, like, what happened with all that? And I'm just gonna answer them as blatantly as I can. Basically, he's not in our life. He hasn't been ever since it happened. People have also been asking, like, oh, do you think that he would be in life? And honestly, I mean, it's not up to me. It's up to him. He made clear that he didn't want anything to do with us, so I'm just leaving it at that. I'm happy with Mateo, we're good, and I think that's honestly all that matters. Another question I get is how you hid it, and it's really just big sweaters. I was not very big. I got big for being so skinny, but I wasn't, compared to other people that were full term, I did not get that big. And I'm going to insert a picture of how big I got. I've also been getting questions about, oh, like, did you tell any friends? Like, did anyone know? And I did tell friends, but none of them believed me. Like, they just thought that I was like lying or something. I just stopped being friends with them, and pretty much I went through pregnancy like alone. Like, I'm not even gonna bother, you know, I'm fine by myself. No one knew. And people were asking, did people like stop being friends with you? And I don't know if that was the reason, but I did distance myself after. I've also been getting a lot of questions like, how has your life changed? Like, how do you feel being a teen mom? And honestly, my life, it has changed a lot, but for the better. And in the sense of like, oh, like going out with friends, you know, having fun. I never really went out. I didn't have a lot of friends. Like, I'm like a school nerd. I just stay home a lot, so it wasn't too big of an adjustment. Like, oh, not having to go out, you know, having to like distance myself from friends because I had already done that. And how has it been being a mom? Honestly, it's amazing. Mateo brings me so much happiness, and it's crazy because when you become a mom, you never think that you can have so much happiness and that like how much your life will change. But I'm really happy that I have him, and I'm blessed for them, and I'm blessed for my whole family for being so supportive, and all the people that have come around and been really supportive, been telling me like really positive things. Thank you all so much. Just means so much to me, and knowing that I have support, it helps me, and it helps me get through it a lot easier than if I were to not have support. A lot of people were asking what I craved during pregnancy and if like mood swings, and honestly I was really moody all the time. I had such a bad temper and like really bad anger, so it was really hard for me. The main thing I craved Doritos and cream cheese a lot. I don't know if that's weird, or bagels with cream cheese and Doritos, but that was so good to me at the time. Some things I could not eat when I was pregnant was pickles. I love pickles normally, but when I was pregnant, pickles were like the most disgusting thing to me. It was really hard for me to eat pickles or even like just smell them. Did I buy things like right when he was born? And yes, me and my family, they all helped me a lot. We all got the stuff for him when he was born, so it helped a lot having my family here with me. Like, what was the main reason why you hid your pregnancy and why didn't I tell anyone? And honestly, the main reason why I didn't was just because I just didn't really want people to know. And I was very naive at the time. I didn't really want to accept the fact that I was pregnant. I was in denial the whole time. And even when my belly did start getting bigger, when I started feeling kicks, I was being so stubborn, and I didn't want to accept the fact that I was pregnant and that I did have a little baby growing inside of me. I also got questions on why I named my son Mateo James, if you didn't know that was his name. And honestly, I don't really have a reason. It's not like something that runs in the family. I just really like the name Mateo. And I didn't name him probably until 2 days after. So Mateo James it just popped into my head and I really liked it. So it was either Mateo James or Matthew Jaden, and I just didn't think about it. So I really liked Mateo James, and I asked for my family's opinion when they did find out at the hospital, and they liked Mateo James and I did too. So I just went with Mateo. That's gonna be all for today's video. I know I was all over the place with answering the questions. I wasn't really sure on how I was gonna answer the questions or like the order I was going to, but I tried to answer majority of everyone's questions, and I will be making more videos. And the next video will probably be a Q&A, but this one I just wanted to be a story time, just kind of explain my experience with being a teen mom and being pregnant and how it all went for me. So thank you guys so much for watching. I will for sure be taking more videos, be uploading more. Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment, and share the video. Follow me on my Instagram, which is Nita_22. And thank you so much. Bye.